Hello everyone, the name is Leo and welcome to Dupi Animation. And in this tutorial, we are going to be doing particle test animation. We are going to be doing this. So with our After Effects open, let's create a composition, then name it logo animation, then let's click OK. All right. Now let's type something in. Let's type something like one piece. All right. So I have this test in. Okay. The next thing to do is right click on the test, then go to pre-compose, select pre-compose, then name it logo build. Then you click OK. All right. Now double click on the logo build to come into where your test is. Then right click on your test again. Then come to pre-compose, select pre-compose, then name it logo here. Then you click OK. Okay. So in our logo build, what we are going to do is we are going to draw a rectangular mask on the left side and animate it across the test. Okay. So let's draw our rectangular mask here. All right. With it drawn, let me open its attributes underneath the logo here by clicking on the cascading arrow here. Okay. So let me set a key, the first key on the mask part. Okay. Now let's move the timeline to something like 16 seconds. Double click to select your rectangular mask. Then move it. Okay. Move it to the other side to set the second key. So we have something like this. Okay. Now let's give the feathering something like 25. The feathering 25. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to our logo animation composition. All right. Now let's make it 3D. Let's select the 3D options, then hide the layer. All right. So now let's right click in and insert in a new solid layer. Let's name it particular or particles. Okay. Now let's go to Effects on the menu bar, then come to Trap Code, then select particular. All right. So on particular, let's come to the emitter. Okay. Now our particle per second will be something like, let's go something like 500,000. Okay. Let's see. 500,000. Then our emitter type, let's set it at box. Our emitter type box. Then emitter size, let's put them at 00. Okay. So after that, go back to the emitter type and change it to what? Layer. Okay. And change it to layer. Then on layer emitter, layer, select logo build. Okay. Then layer sampling, select particle birth time. Okay. All right. Now let me see velocity. Let me keep velocity as 100. Then velocity random, let me go something like 15. Distribution, let me go 1. Then motion, velocity motion 90. Okay. So now let's leave that, then come to particles. Let me close this and come to particles. So particle life, let me go 1.5. That's particle life per second. Life random, let me go something like 100. Then particle type, let me go to cloudlets. Let me select cloudlets. All right, size random. Let me keep it at 100. Let me put it at 100 rather. Size over life. Size over life. Let me select this one, a random one here. Okay. Then opacity over life. Let me select the flip one here. Then close the end here. Okay, close the end here. After selecting it, just close the end there. Opacity random. Let me go something like 15. Now let me come to shading. Let me close the particles, then come to shading. Let me keep this shadowlets for main on. Then shadowlets for aux on too. Okay. Then shadowlet settings. Okay, shadowlet settings. Opacity, let me put it at 3. Then adjust size. Adjust size, something like 130. So now let's see. Let me come to physics. Physics, air. Turbulent field. Okay, turbulent field. First, let me put the wind. Let me make it minus 100 or 120. Okay. Then affect position. Let me make it something like 150. We are still on the turbulent field. So affect position, let me put it at 150. Okay. Then fade in time. Fade in time, 0.1. 0.1. 0.1 is okay. And put complexity at 1. Complexity at 1. Okay. So now let's come to rendering. Let me see, rendering. Rendering. Motion blur. Motion blur on. Okay. Motion blur on. So now let me see what we have. Nicely. Okay. All right. So now go to effects and type sharpen. Then apply the effect on the particle layer. And come to the sharpen attributes and increase its amount to something like 100 to make the image more clearer. Okay. All right. So we have this. Okay. So now the next thing to do is go back to our browser window, then drag logo here underneath our composition here, logo animation composition. Okay. So we have something like this in it. Okay. With a particle passing on the surface of the text. So what you have to do next is go to effect and select linear wipe. Linear wipe. All right. Then apply it to the logo here layer. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to wipe from the right side. Okay. Right, we are going to wipe from the right side and animate it. Okay. So let's flip the wipe angle to something like 270. So on transition completion, you set a key. E is for effect. Okay. You set a key on transition completion, the beginning, where your timeline is. Then move your timeline to something like 16 seconds. Then put transition completion to something like 0 to reveal the text. So you have this. See that? If it's too fast for you, you can open it up. You can open the key points up if it's too fast for you. All right, nicely. Okay, now come here to the feathering and give the feather 25 to make the edge softer. Okay, to give it a softer edge. See that? nicely. So with this, you have practically done your text particle animation, okay? Unless you want to do more things with it, all right? So let's say you want to apply effects, some kind of reflection effects, you can still do it. When it comes something like logo here, okay, just select it and apply an effect like VC, reflect, okay? Then move the reflection point closer to the text. The wipe angle goes something like 30%. Okay. Then let's see, opacity goes something like 20 or 15. Okay. Let me increase the distance, reflection distance a bit. Okay. So now when you come to the logo animation, see what you have. You see that? Let me play it for you to see. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay. All right. So that's also another way of applying effect to it. Okay. So let me take the effect off. Okay. When it comes to the color, you can change the color here to any color at all that you prefer. Okay. So let's say I want to split it whereby one side have a different color. So let's say one piece, the piece have something like a blue color. So when you come to our logo animation, you have something here. You have something like this. The white and the blue merges in some way, giving you a beautiful text animation. Nice. Okay. So with this, you can create a background and place it on it if you want. Okay. So all that you have to do is creating the background. Just come to your project window, click new composition. Okay. Then name it BJ. All right. So now let's right click in and insert in a new solid layer. Then click OK. Then come to effects and apply ramp or gradient ramp to it. All right. Then the top, let's give it a blue color. Then the bottom, a whiter color. I think that's okay. Okay. So let's say we want to create a background with some mountainous regions. So we'll create another new solid layer. Okay. Then give it a color of something like, let me go something like this. Then let's see, a width of 4,000. A width of 6,000. Let me give it 6,000. Then a height of 4,000. Okay. So you have something like this. All that you have to do is select the rectangular masking tool, then cut the middle of our solid layer. All right. After that, go to your pen tool, then select add vertex tool. Then come to the middle here and insert a point there. All right. Then go back to your pen tool, then select convert vertex tool. Then click on the point to create a bezier on the surface of the mask. All right. So all that you have to do is, after that, just pull one side of the bezier or your curve, okay, to create some kind of mountain. All right. So let's make it 3D. Then duplicate it. All right. Then switch the camera view to something like custom view. Then push the duplicated one backwards. Okay. Let me see position. Let me come to active view. Okay. So after pushing it a bit far, just hit S on scale. Then scale it up. If it's too small, you scale it up. Then still come and stand on your curve. Then pull one side in and raise one side up, like how you did it first. Okay. So apply gradient ramp to it. Okay. Then let's see. So the bottom, let's give it a color of something like a darker color a bit. a bit darker. Then the top, let's give it a whiter color. Okay. So you have something like this. Then just copy these gradients. Then the first one, let me paste it there. Guys, for time's sake, I won't be able to do this background fully. Okay. So I will just show you how I did it, so that maybe you pick it from there, then continue. All right. Okay. So something like this. All right. All right. You can. So after this, just right click in, then new, then insert light. Insert light. Click OK. All right. Then click on the cascading arrow beside it. Then come to light option. Okay. Then cone angle. Cone angle, just expand it. Okay. I think that will be okay. Okay. After that, let's insert in a camera. New. Then camera. Let's select 50mm camera. All right. So C is for camera. So let's use zoom camera so that we can zoom in and out. Okay. So let's zoom in to this point. Okay. Let me scale this thing up. Let me scale it up a bit more. Okay. So P, let's hit P on camera to set the position. Then move it to something like 16 seconds. Then zoom in to somewhere here. Okay. So you have something like this. So you have this. Slowly, the camera going in slowly. All right. So after creating the background, all that you have to do is to lift the logo animation, then place it on top of it. So you have this. Okay. Nice. Okay. You can make it 3D if you want. You just have to switch on the empty 3D box here, the 3D draft here, to make it 3D. Okay, so that you'll be zooming slowly. This one, you just have to scale it down. Scale it down. Okay. So you have this. Nicely. Okay. So guys, this comes to the end of our particle test animation. So please kindly subscribe, like, and comment so that I'll be able to do more tutorials for you guys. All right. See you next time.